welcome to True Heel Heat.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero. And if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to them boys.
What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat.
What's up? True Heel Heat. All hands on me.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Rated Raw Review episode 74. When you listen to Finn, you win. Discussing last night's June 30th, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw as only we can. And to do that, no, I am not joined by Romeo. He was due, folks. He made it, last week? Maybe the week before? But, can't do 3 weeks in a row. And he did 2 streams on Saturday. So that was enough for the week. Running away from the grind, Romeo is back. But also, who's back? The one and only president of the Oklahoma City fan club, your reigning NBA champion, Top Guy JJ. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great today. Today's a good day. Hot as hell outside again, but you know, Yeah, I heard it's kind of like blistering on your side of the road, on your side of
Oh
town.
man, it's 100. We got the 100 degrees that you got last week. We got it this week.
Yeah, I heard it was like 36.5 Celsius. I was like, "Heesh, they about to feel it. They about to feel what I was complaining about a couple weeks ago."
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's what happens. The world orbits. It moves.
the sun moves. The sun moved to our side now.
There you go. It shouldn't be there too long though. We only had it for like 3 days. But yeah, another week. I don't even know if I could call it a crazy week of wrestling, but shit happened.
I mean, it was with Night of Champions, you know.
Night of Champions. Yeah, that happened.
It was a show. It happened from Saudi Arabia.
I definitely did not watch it live. But yeah, I actually think this was better than Night of Champions because this felt like a kind of like a throwback episode of Raw, which I low key enjoyed this week. So like it felt different. I was like, why am I liking this episode so much? And there really isn't much happening, but I kind of have an idea as to why.
I think it's because you compared it to last week, and this was the better week of the two.
Oh, this was my God, was last week awful. This jumped leaps and bounds over last week's episode.
Even though I will say the crowd was not that good on last night's show. The crowd was probably in the running for LVP on this show because they legitimately were like, "We're here for 4 hours, guys. We don't care about a large portion of this show, and we're gonna tell you who we don't care about." And they did. So I appreciate their honesty. But yes, we are live once again. Appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the live chat as well as you can sound off in the comment section below. We love to continue the conversation after we are done live here. So if you're watching us on demand, let us know what you thought about this episode of Monday Night Raw. But if you're in the live chat, we'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel in the best way possible, you can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. It goes a long way to help the channel grow and move forward, and we always thank you for that. We already got in the chat with us today Zach, who says Happy Taco Tuesday, everyone. Happy Taco Tuesday to you. We got Eric Isaac, who says, hey, THH fam, enjoyed my birthday last weekend. Happy belated birthday again. He says Finn Balor is Win Balor again. Judgment Day is not dead, and Chad Gable may be out, but the legend of El Grande Americano lives on.
This nigga had a growth spurt. Adults having growth spurts is it's fucking comical. I love that. Nigga didn't fit on the screen, bro.
They had to wide shot it a bit. We got Dion Jenkins joining us in the chat, one of our members of the channel. Hit the join button and become a member as well. He says, what's up, SP3 and JJ? What's up, everyone in the chat? We also got Chuck Berries, one of the good brothers in the chat. He says, what's good, THH fam? Shout out to Top Guy's boy, SGA, for his big payday. The biggest annual contract in NBA history. Well deserved for we had a great conversation. I would probably say this is the one segment of In the Weeds that I would love for you to watch and give me your opinion. But me and Jeremy went through all 30 teams and named the GOAT of every team, and we gave SGA the GOAT honors for the Thunder now.
And well deserved. So you gotta send me that video so I could take a look at that. I do have I have a slight bone to pick with you, sir. I actually have a slight bone to pick with you. How dare you do a finals recap of the 2025 NBA season and don't even fucking ask me if I'm available to show up? I had to see it through looking at the True Hill Heat videos, and I get to see you and Chris G, which I did a great job, by the way. See, you
we had to. It's because we had to fit it into Chris G's break at his job.
Like, yo, I'm like, these niggas really just did a whole recap, and I've been waiting 20 years for this championship, and these niggas couldn't give me a 30-minute fucking fame to be on screen and gloat when it's about basketball.
You know what? People,
I should have did Romeo and called out 2 minutes before the show.
You know what? I can admit when I was wrong. I was wrong for that. I apologize, sir. Yes, I should have hit you up. I should have hit you. We're gonna be doing it. We had so much fun with that. We're gonna be doing it another time. So maybe we'll do something for free agency, and you can have your time to gloat about the championship as well as SGA re-signing.
And I have all my championship gear by then, so we'll be good. Shit is en route right now. I thought it was gonna be here by now, but shipping delays and shit.
All right. So we'll coordinate. Me, you, and Chris will coordinate on the right time to do that.
For 4 years, 285. That's 71 million a year, bro.
A year.
Just more validation that we have chosen the wrong careers.
Yes, we did. I should have continued going to those.
Be getting $1 million a game almost.
I should have continued going to that gym every Saturday for AAU. Davion said, what's going on? Hope y'all are having a great day. Hope you're having a great day as well, my friend. We got Dion who says, I've gone back and watched some Attitude Era Raws, and there was a lot of mid on those shows too. Undercard had guys like Disciples of Apocalypse and Los Boiquas, but those are easy to get through, to be fair. I had fun with those guys.
We've said that though. We've said that a lot of the Attitude Era was very, very mid. It was always the main story that people was into. Not usually a handful of stories. It's usually the main plot.
It's not until I would say until probably like 2000 is probably the best year for the Attitude Era, where everything was kind of firing on all cylinders. Like even the mid card had groups like Right to Censored, who were so like hated and were a really good heel act in those days. Like I would say that's like the best time as far as like if you want top to bottom stuff that's at least entertaining, that's the best year of that.
The crowds were hot during that time too. My God.
Yeah. Electric in those times. 1998, you got me. 1998. Oh yeah.
It was like the beginning of it.
I'm very heavy. I think the best times in WWE history are post WrestleMania 13, 1997 until the summer of 1998. Like that period is great because you got Austin and the Hart Foundation. You had the Goldust was in his little phase where he was doing his thing. He had his feud with like Brian Pillman, but the Hart Foundation were like the centerpiece of that era. You had the start of like Stone Cold's rise and everything going on there. The Rock coming into his own, becoming the Rock from Rocky Maivia, the Nation of Domination, stuff like that. And then 1998 had like Austin really on top, and like the first few months from Austin winning the title at WrestleMania till SummerSlam, like that's the greatest period of Stone Cold in my opinion, as far as like him being on top, him being the top guy, and everything kind of all the top things going through him. And then 2000, those are the best times of the Attitude Era.
Yeah. All right, can't no debate there. 100%.
We got Dion Jenkins, who says, what do y'all think was the best era of WWE? I'd say Ruthless Aggression era. It really depends on what type of wrestling fan you are. If you are like heavy on like in-ring action, then yeah, you probably would say Ruthless Aggression is the best era. If you like overacts and big over-the-top characters, stars, and the crowd's on fire, then it would be like the Attitude Era. If you like kind of the bombastic pop and circumstance and big characters, maybe the golden era is for you. If you like more of like the modern era of like in-ring wrestling, reality era is a big one for some people, but I mean, those are few and far between. But yeah, I would say it's between Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression, depending on what type of fan you are.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that is a very subjective answer. I think it's very what you feel. I felt the Attitude Era the most.
Yes.
Shit, those were shows that I actually fucking recorded on VHS tapes, and I had almost 200 tapes of the Attitude Era. So me not being able to wait to get off work to record and pause through commercials on Monday Night Raw for 2 hours and then thoroughly of course every era has like mid episodes and bullshit episodes, but the Attitude Era episodes that hit still are remembered today. And these are like episodic shows. Like these are fucking magic. Like that Austin McMahon shit, the fucking brothers fucking going at it for a couple
Brothers
years.
of Destruction, yeah.
Yeah, like the
DX
on Triple H rivalry, the DX and Nation rivalry. Like you had like I don't hey, and listen, we could have been some pervs, but goddamn, when you saw them women on screen, all you wanted to see was those bra and panties. And so
Sable and Jacqueline feud,
you know,
man.
so
like Sable on fire.
Yeah, and the crowds were untouchable. That era of crowd is untouchable. So, you know, I think it's just a matter of what you personally felt the most for an era that you could consider the best. But, you know, I won't be able to argue with you either way because I'm not going to be able to sway you of an era that you personally liked more.
Yeah, I'm right there with you where I would kind of give the edge to the Attitude Era because as far as like what people used to talk about how like it's water cooler type conversation, that was the Attitude Era. Like I would want to watch Monday Night Raw because I know Tuesday morning I would see my friends in the lunchroom at school and we would all be talking about Monday Night Raw. And even before that, like pre-Attitude Era, the beginning stages, the seeds being sold for Attitude Era, like 1996, I used to be one of the only kids who watched Raw and Nitro and talking about the NWO and stuff like that. And then into 1998 when Austin's on the rise and you got NWO and Goldberg and Sting over in WCW. Like there's nothing like that. Like Ruthless Aggression era is fun for WWE because it had great matches. I agree with Dion. As far as like SmackDown in 2002, that really dictated like the type of wrestling I would go on to enjoy in my like teenage years. Teenage years is when I see like my first year of high school is watching SmackDown 2002, and then I would fall out of wrestling for a bit after like 2003 into 2004, and then basically watching all that great wrestling from SmackDown in 2002 made me fall in love with like the independent scene when I discovered like TNA on Wednesday night pay-per-views and Ring of Honor, Samoa Joe and CM Punk. I felt like the SmackDown 2002 basically made me a different type of wrestling fan where I appreciated great in-ring work, unlike in my Attitude Era fandom of being like a younger kid where I was just like, oh, big stars, oh, this is entertaining, oh, big titties over here. Like it was different. Like I have different stages of my fandom.
Yeah, and I think that is, that's what I felt. You know, it's what what you feel. But then, you kind of I think you grow as wrestling attempts to grow. Yeah. So as wrestling attempts to grow, what you are wanting for your viewing pleasure is going to change. So there's people that fell off. A lot of people fell off during the Ruthless Aggression era. And it's not because it was a bad product. It's because it wasn't what they wanted to see. Like they wanted like these ridiculous over the top movie style storylines, and you were getting some of that with the ruthless aggression era, but it wasn't as over the top as the Attitude Era. Like the Attitude Era was so bogus, it was so over the top that it was, as SP said, well, for me, early days of going to work, it was like going to work conversation. Like, yo, this nigga just fucked up this man's Corvette, bro. like, yo,
he poured cement in it. Like, it was crazy.
Like, yeah, like shit, like, yo, he fired this nigga on live TV. Like, there's just shit, man, that it's so ridiculous. If that happened now, people would fucking despise it, because it's like, all right, now y'all playing without intelligence. Now y'all just playing without intelligence, knowing damn well once y'all go to the back, y'all gonna be like, oh, that was great, killed it. But then when we were kind of not in the weeds of social media and kind of getting what we get when we see it on TV, that shit was like, yo, that shit felt not real, but invested, heavily invested.
Happy birthday to your mom, Christopher. He says happy birthday to his mom in the chat. His mom's birthday's today, so happy birthday to her. Aubrey makes a great point here. He says, I wish they go back to the unpredictable backstage segments off the scene where they would go to a bar. All they do is just go into the ring. I agree. They need more of that. They need more of like off the location type scenes and stuff like that. That's why I used to get excited when they would do stuff in like hotels, like Cena showing up to Edge and Lita's hotel and beating her up in like the 2000s and stuff like that, or even recently in like the late 2010. I think they did that segment with Jimmy Uso and Mandy Rose and Naomi in a hotel. That was cool. That was memorable. Yeah. Just for being off of the regular backstage segments that we see. So, and we got also here Dion, who says Attitude Era was like Jerry Springer's shit. It was car crash TV, great stuff. Yeah, absolutely. That's the best way to describe it. It's car crash TV. You can't look away from it. You got to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that that's the shit that we enjoyed back then.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, JJ. Yes. Let's get into last night's Monday Night Raw. What did you think about the crowd last night in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
They were just as excited as their football team this season.
They gave us just like Pittsburgh has given to the NBA. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's
like that was that they were the definition of we gonna give you we're gonna give you energy to literally only who we care about, and everybody else gets nothing. And it was interesting. The crowd was like, they were decent, but they were hot for a match that I was not expecting them to be hot for, which we'll get into. But yeah, they were very mild mannered. They were very Republican like last night. Very clappy.
Yes. There was a recap of Night of Champions from Saudi Arabia on Saturday. It began with them talking about how great the city and the country are. I just want to throw up in my mouth. The recap included headlines from various news and sports outlets, one of which claimed that Sami Zayn pulled off a quote-unquote miracle win over Karrion Kross. That was from CBS, which was them just repeating what Michael Cole said on commentary. And then you had Sami Zayn impressed by a picture of Sidney Crosby holding the Stanley Cup when he walked into the building. We see Penta, New Day, Sheamus were all shown arriving in Pittsburgh. Corey Graves is is once again on the call in his hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in place of Pat McAfee. 1 point up for that because the commentary is usually better when Corey's here instead of McAfee. And we kick things off with the Nightmare, Rhea Ripley, making her way down to the ring, who definitely did get a big reaction from the Pittsburgh crowd. And she welcomes us to Monday Night Mommy. Must everyone do that? That's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody's show except Netflix's.
Ripley said that the Judgment Day was finally behind her. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. And she wanted to get her priorities straight ahead of Evolution, but before she could continue, WWE Women's World Champion Io Sky makes her way down to the ring. Io gets in the ring and she gets on the mic to say that you could not have Evolution without her, because Rhea Ripley was wrong about one thing. Ripley was not on top, not without this title. Adam Pearce told Sky that she could defend her title against any opponent of her choosing at Evolution, and Sky wanted to defend it against the best, and that meant Rhea Ripley. Rhea responds and says that she had nothing but respect for Io Sky, but she warned Io that she would stop at nothing to get the title back. Rhea officially accepts the challenge for a matchup at Evolution. Io raises the title in the air, and the match is set. We got our main event for WWE Evolution coming up on Sunday, July 13th from Atlanta, Georgia. It will be Io Sky defending the WWE Women's World Championship against the Nightmare, Rhea Ripley, the woman she defeated for the title all the way back in March, the woman that she defeated alongside Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 41. One more clash between the two, Rhea versus Io, coming up in 2 weeks' time. What did you think about this opening segment here, Top Guy JJ? Me, myself, I felt like this was the laziest fucking way we could have got to this matchup. This had little to no effort and basically set the tone for WWE going the easiest and laziest options for Evolution that they could throughout the entire show to build up the card for 2 weeks' time. That really feels like a damn nigga here type pay-per-view.
So anything was better than last week's start. So I'll take anything over last week. Yeah, I think you kind of like took the words from me. I was just gonna really say that they have just become so lazy with booking Io Sky. They don't even want to book her. They just said, "You go and make the match." He said, you go and make the match. We don't even got time to book you or put any effort into it. We'll just have you go out there and you do it. You do it. Like, fuck it. Like no Adam Pearce involved. Nobody. Just you go ahead and you do it. You make the challenge and we've seen this, heard this before. And this whole, like, one thing 2 weeks before a show, and then we're talking about respect and all of this shit and love and admiration and blah, blah, blah. Bro, like, there's literally one Monday Night Raw before this fucking PLE starts. There's one show. And we got the, "Hi, I love you. I love you too. Do you want to go to the ring with me in like 12 days now?" I think we would be really cool if we really just headline the show. Like, because, there's going to be a lot of people there. They're going to want to see us. They're going to want to see the Genius of the Sky. They're going to want to see the Eradicator. Did that not sound extremely boring to y'all? Yes, the fuck it did. Because that's exactly what we got. like promo was... I guess they went out there to make an announcement, basically.
Yeah, it just caused me to have so many different questions. Cause so Adam Pearce didn't want to do his job, so he let Io Sky choose who she wanted to defend the title against. So instead of Io choosing someone new to defend the title against, like, I don't know, maybe one of her best friends, Kairi Sane, who has picked up a series of wins on Monday Night Raw and would be a new challenger for the title.
Queen of the Ring.
Asuka, she literally did a segment last week where she said, me and Asuka always talked about having a match one-on-one against each other when we were in Damage Control together. I don't know, that sounds more interesting. No, she wants to face the same person she has faced multiple times. 3 times this year already, she's already faced her. Mind you, the whole story into the first matchup that they had this year was that Io always beats Rhea Ripley. So regardless of if you think Rhea Ripley is the best, you're literally choosing someone you know you can beat. So that doesn't really put you over as the babyface fighting champion. And mind you, you shouldn't be a babyface fighting champion because you haven't defended the title since WrestleMania. Triple H has booked every single WWE Women's World Champion poorly since the title has come into existence. Rhea Ripley was not booked that well. She barely defended the title, and when she did, it was against a challenger of the month like Zoe Stark. Until Nia Jax showed up and actually gave her a legitimate feud. And then Becky Lynch ahead of WrestleMania 40. And then she gets injured. Liv was booked poorly in the early portion of her reign where she feuded with Zelina Vega for like 2 to 3 months. And then there was a hot streak with her and Rhea when Rhea came back in the summer. But then they dragged that out to the point that none of us were that interested as much as we were into it heading into SummerSlam. Then the Rhea Ripley re-reign was only 2 months before she drops it to Io. And then Io Sky is legitimately one of the best women's wrestlers in the world today. She's one of the best wrestlers, regardless of gender, in this company. Delivers one of the greatest women's matches in WrestleMania history. And you said, we're not going to have you defend the title for 3 months. She hasn't wrestled on Monday Night Raw since May 12th.
For y'all counting at home, that's about 7 weeks. About 7 weeks. I mean, let's also, while we're here, because apparently the show didn't care about it enough to even highlight it anymore, then we're going to talk about it here. Let's talk about how this is the only match on the Evolution card so far.
Well, technically, this was the second match for Evolution at this point. Because NXT, who has a show on the Saturday before Evolution, chose to make a match for Evolution before their PLE, Great American Bash, that's going head-to-head with All In.
Oh, so you have the C show promoting this more than your 2 premiere shows that it has the largest women's rosters in the company. Yeah. So, apparently, over the next 7 days, we're just going to get shot put a card. And not one of these matches is going to have a feud or a build up to it. Not a one. Tremendous effort, guys. Bravo. More power to the equality of wrestling that, you give them a pay-per-view, but then you're already building to SummerSlam, which is like 4 weeks later, and here you go. You don't even have a graphic for this fucking show yet.
It's because, JJ, they have 4 major shows in 5 weeks. Night of Champions on Saturday. 2 weeks from now, they got Saturday Night's Main Event and Evolution. And then 3 weeks after that, they got SummerSlam. 2-night SummerSlam.
There's a card for Saturday Night's Main Event. Mind you, it doesn't have a single...
No, there's not. No. Evolution has more matches than Saturday Night's Main Event. Saturday Night's Main Event just has Goldberg and Gunther, and then the one match that was made on this show.
Oh, so they have the same amount of matches.
No. The Evolution, they went on hyperdrive on this episode where we got up to 4 matches for Evolution now. And I have to highlight this comment here. Annika saying it's kind of crazy they didn't do this right after Mania, and the match at Evolution was probably EO versus Liv. No, it wasn't. Liv set up the whole feud with Nikki Bella because it was going to be either Liv versus Nikki Bella or it was going to be the Bella twins versus Liv and Raquel. That's why I had people from Sports Illustrated and I had my couple of my wrestling friends outside of that who were telling me, oh, you know, the reason why Evolution feels like this is because they had a lot of fans around Liv Morgan. I was like, they had one match for Evolution around Liv Morgan. Let's stop giving them excuses. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a bullshit PR reason why this Evolution card feels like this. This feels very forgettable. It lacks the purpose and the meaning that the first Evolution gave us. It's literally a ploy by WWE to give the fans something that they've wanted as counter programming to take all eyes and news articles off of AEW with their biggest show of the year, the day prior. That's all Evolution is.
Which is so... It just comes off as desperate. It just comes off as, for the biggest company in the world, this just comes off as desperate. Desperate to not let anyone else shine, even though All In is going to do better than every show they put around them over the next couple weeks. But, you know, they're going to try. They're going to try. And they're going to fail. And they're going to fail very badly.
Yeah. It just feels really, and the ticket sales have not looked good for this Atlanta weekend either.
Because niggas ain't got time to fucking build and purchase these fucking shows. These shits are happening back to back to back to back. Like, these niggas is putting out more shows than people are getting paychecks. like what the fuck? Like, bi-weekly. Most people in this country gets paid bi-weekly. And one of those bi-weekly checks, niggas gotta pay rent and bills. And then these niggas is putting out a show every 2 weeks? Like, yeah, fucking tank. Like, Jesus Christ, yo, they can't even breathe with these fucking shows. Like, every week there's a build-up to a new PLE, a build-up to a new special show, a build-up to a new big event, a build-up to a new show on Tuesday, a build-up to an extravagant fiasco on Friday, a build-up to a fiasco on Tuesday night on CW. Like, bro, like, niggas is not able to breathe, yo. And you know how we're not gonna, you know how we're gonna breathe? We're just gonna breathe by skipping all of this shit.
This has just been all these shows, one after the other. Mind you, Night of Champions came 3 weeks after Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank came 3 weeks after Backlash. No. It came a week and a half after Saturday Night's main event. I forgot about that. It came a week and a half after Saturday Night's main event, which was 2 weeks after Backlash, which Backlash was 3 weeks after WrestleMania.
And this shit is hurting SummerSlam. Because you're only going to have 3 weeks to build SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Like, yo, y'all are some money-hungry, greedy sons of bitches, and it is hurting the product. It is hurting it. Like, it is not making it any better. It is not giving us anything to look forward to. It is just, if you ain't got shit to do on this afternoon or this evening, you might tune in. But am I looking forward to any of this? No, I'm not.
Yeah. Jay says it best here. He says WWE oversaturating their product. It is going to hurt their ticket sales moving forward. SummerSlam isn't doing too well either. I mean, they have 40,000 seats sold for SummerSlam.
These niggas gotta put SP. These niggas gotta put 10 matches together for SummerSlam.
No, they usually go out for SummerSlam, so it's like 12 to 14.
Maybe 12. 12.
Yeah, 12 to 14. Because it's two nights. It's 2 nights.
Where the fuck are they?
Don't worry, JJ. We it seems like they set up one of their big matches on the show.
They have 2 matches right now. They have 2 matches right now, and it involves both King and Queen of the Ring winners.
And to follow up on our discussion last week, I looked really really smart for complaining about that Jade Cargill Roxanne Perez matchup, huh? Because that Asuka match sucked. Asuka couldn't even get a good match out of this girl, and that's one of the people they're relying on to sell SummerSlam.
I tried to, it's crazy. Last week I tried to like tread the.
You did.
I tried to tread the.
You did.
Tight wire. I tried, and then we got what we got.
You did. The reason I brought it up is because you did the best job out of anybody that I said my opinion about that matchup to. You did the best job of making me like think of it from a different perspective. Like, okay, maybe it wasn't that bad, and maybe Asuka can get something out of her that Roxanne, who's a little bit younger, couldn't get out of her. And then I watched an 8.5 minute matchup where Jade took about 30% of the matchup, sold for most of it, still miscast as a babyface, and then she cuts this freaking, oh, woe is me, don't listen to the boos, it's you can overcome.
A fucking president of a fucking person to address the crowd in Cody Rhodes. You just had the best prior presenter, and that was the shit you said after it? After you botched the pin, bro, the pin! The pin, for fuck's sakes! Like, yo, like, it has just become, like, it's like, yo, here, chat, right now, y'all all gotta take the SAT test right now. No studying. Just tell me what y'all gonna score. Like, this is so awful.
One thing
so far back.
One thing that Romeo said that I will agree with is I don't put most of the blame on Jade Cargill. I put it on WWE because it's not even a debate anymore. AEW booked Jade Cargill better than WWE. She has basically met the same amount of time she was in AEW now that she's been in WWE for 2 years. She was in AEW for 2 years. She's been in WWE for 2 years. It's now an honest where you can look at it from both perspectives. Look at her entire AEW run. Look at her WWE run up to this point. AEW did a better job of highlighting her strengths over her weaknesses, while WWE have highlighted her weaknesses over her strengths.
Or they're not even trying to mask anything. They're not even trying to mask anything. They're not even trying to adjust the style of the match. They're just telling her to go perform this match with what you know. And it is clear that she doesn't have enough work to know the ins and outs of productive counter wrestling, selling and trading moves, telling a story during the match. And you had one of the best ever in the ring to do this with. And the shit wasn't even 10 minutes.
No.
I kid you not, I had to rewind this match because I went to go and brush my teeth and floor. I had to do, your normal bathroom shit that you prepare for a wash your face. That took all of like maybe 5 minutes or so. The match was already over.
Yep.
The match was over. She was giving that dog water speech. So I had to go back a whole 10 minutes, including the speech. Yo, like, bro, like, damn, I can't even like try to defend this until it gets better. I can't. Like, I won't. Yeah. I won't. Just I am fellas, we gotta have those same expectations for the ladies too.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can eat my words and be like, yo, she's gotten better, and WWE's gotten better with the booking, but like she's getting the biggest push of her run so far, and it hasn't looked good the past week. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated and see how it progresses here. But we got to continue with this episode of Monday Night Raw. We head backstage to Dominic Mysterio wishing Finn Balor and JD McDonough luck ahead of their tag team title match. When they left, in came AJ Styles. Dom presented him with a doctor's note proving that he was not medically cleared. Dom wondered if AJ needed his little glasses to read the note, and AJ in fact did put on his glasses to read the note, looking like a much older man that even he looks. And I know he's 48. And the note said that he says, "See, right here, I knew I was right. You're a punk ass." That got a good laugh from the crowd. The crowd also laughed when he put on the glasses. Styles warned Dom that he would do a lot worse to him once he got his hands on him. As Dom tried to say something when AJ walked away, but when AJ came back, he put up the note again and then walked away, says, "You can't touch me. MC Hammer, you can't touch this." Dom and AJ were funny in this segment. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I mean, nice light moment. It was cool. At least AJ's getting better now, so I can't complain too much about that. This is leading up to obviously a SummerSlam match with him and Dom. So, you know, at least we know probably 3 of the matches now. Wow, we got 9 to go.
and then you say that, and then the AJ Dom matchup will probably be on a random episode of Raw.
That shit, I swear to God, if Adam Pearce gets on fucking Instagram and announces this shit, it's official for Monday Night Raw in fucking Green Bay. Like, that would be such a WWE thing to do, too.
It would be. It would be because you said that. Because you said that, I was like, "Yep, they're gonna make it for Monday Night Raw."
Oh, and then Adam Pearce is gonna be on vacation again, so Nick Aldis will be filling in. It's like, there's some dude, y'all should just not post on social media because it's literally just a joke. And a bad one, a really bad one.
All right, if you like rants, get ready after I talk about this matchup. For the World Tag Team Championships, it's the New Day defending against the Judgment Day's Finn Balor and JD McDonough. The match started with Kingston offering Balor a piece of bread since he doesn't like carbs, but Balor pushed it away. The match starts, and immediately you see that the New Day are playing heels in this matchup, and the Judgment Day are weirdly the baby faces, but the crowd is actually behind them. The New Day isolate McDonough early on before the commercial break, throughout the commercial break as well. Balor eventually makes the hot tag, which he got a nice pop for. He ran wild on the New Day, hitting a bunch of his regular offense. He ran wild. He hits a sling blade. He went for a drop kick, but Kingston cut him off with a leaping double foot stomp. They tagged out, and McDonough hits Woods with an acai moonsault, but Woods got his boots up on a moonsault back in the ring. Balor made a blind tag and went for the coup de grace as JD was holding on to Woods, putting him in position for it, but Woods would escape and move out the way, so Balor hits the coup de grace on McDonough instead. Woods rolled up Balor for a near fall, and then New Day hit Balor with the Midnight Hour, but that only got a very close 2 count. Each team took turns cheating behind the referee's back, leading to Woods hitting Balor with the title belt from behind, but Balor was able to kick out of that as well. McDonough got back in, and he hits Woods with an avalanche Spanish fly, but Kingston broke up the cover. Balor gave Kingston a sling blade on the outside, and then McDonough hits Woods with a moonsault. Then Balor follows up with the coup de grace, this time hitting Woods, no Kingston. So 1, 2, 3 to a huge pop from this crowd. We get the Judgment Day becoming new World Tag Team Champions for the second time. Balor and McDonough hold the gold, and they played really damn good baby faces in this matchup and got a huge response from the crowd. The match started off with a quiet crowd, a relatively quiet Pittsburgh crowd, but they got into this matchup because it was a lot of fun, a lot of good action from all fronts. The crowd getting into the Judgment Day made this an interesting environment, an atmosphere for the bout. And then post-match you get Balor and McDonough celebrating with Dom as the Judgment Day have singles gold, the male members celebrating here to a big pyro display. Match went 12.5 minutes. It felt like a big win for the Judgment Day here, but here comes the rant.
Before you start, because I want you to breathe and I want you to get it all out.
Thank you. Go ahead.
This was a fantastic match. Like, the match before SP makes you forget about all of that. this was a really good match. And I give the pivot props with New Day playing these very popular baby faces all of a sudden. But you can carry on. But I just want to say, before he rips everything about this, what I already know he's going to talk about, and mind you, we did not talk post-show. We did not talk pre-show. I know what he's about to rip to shreds. I agree with him already, and I don't even know what he's going to say. And I already agree with him. But I at least want to say the match was fantastic. You shall proceed, sir.
Great match. Great match. Arguably one of the best matches on this show, which had a lot of good matches on the show. I'm kind of upset that Romeo called out 2 minutes before we went live. Because if you remember Top Guy JJ, and this man has stayed on this hill, even though I knew he would die on it for the last couple of months because of how it was going.
He's died 9 times already. He's died on many hills.
This is true. If he was a cat, he would be done already. But when I was doing my biggest heel turns of all time, all the times, not just when you were born, but of all time in pro wrestling history, that man legitimately put the New Day's heel turn in December in his top 10 heel turns of all time. And mind you, I asked him for this in March, where already all the signs pointed to this is not the follow-up that it should have had. And now we stand here. It is July 1st. Or we sit here. It's July 1st. And the New Day won the tag team titles at WrestleMania in a nothing matchup. One of the worst matchups of the weekend, honestly, if you really think about it, from WrestleMania.
Nobody even remembers the match.
Nobody even remembers. It was like a TV match on WrestleMania, and the crowd didn't care about it either. They defended the title once before this matchup in a triple threat match with the Creeds and War Raiders, which I know many of you, when I just said that, you were like, "Oh, I forgot that." It's okay, because that's what they intended to. And I gave I see Vala B says he wants the THH version of this rant because I just gave this rant on Fightful on In the Weeds. But I will repeat what I said there here. Triple K ain't never beaten these allegations. He don't like niggas. That's what he meant when he said, "I don't see color." He said, "Fuck you niggas." That's what he meant. He don't care about no black people. He never liked black people when he was wrestling. What did he do to Booker T before WrestleMania 19? You think that was in the script? No, that's how he really felt. And the way he has treated the New Day since this heel turn, one of the most emotionally gripping, dramatic heel turns that no one saw coming. We all thought that the New Day were going to break up with the way things were going with Kingston and Woods. And then they betray Big E. They turn on Big E. And the way they did, they were getting nuclear heat, Top Guy JJ. Nuclear freaking heat. Felt like one of the biggest heel acts in the goddamn company. And this man says, "Oh, I listen to the fans. You know, every week we get a whole litmus test. We always listen to the fans and we hear what they're going." So how do you hear the reaction Kingston and Woods was getting after that heel turn? And then give us this. For weeks they didn't wrestle. Then when they did wrestle, it was in singles matches. Then when they finally do it in tag team matches, they give the heat to El Grande Americano. Then they finally get their title shot. It's at WrestleMania in a build that had nothing to do with nothing. No one cared about it because they didn't care about it. That's how they booked it. And then if you thought the build to the matchup was horrible, then let's take a look at this title reign. This nothing-ass title reign. The worst title reign out of 13 for the New Day. He don't like no niggas. That's what it is. Like, I'm sick of this. Oh, no, I know for a fact Triple H like black people. Oh, look at the way he's booked Jade Cargill. He has to book Jade Cargill that way because he got her from AEW. He is being judged against what Tony Khan and AEW did. So is Jade Cargill's getting the push? That's the only reason why. It's not the color of her skin. Oh, Naomi, she's got this new character. It's going so well. Oh, Naomi, that was for a year after coming back, after having a revolutionary, great run in TNA, getting more eyes on TNA, being a great Knockouts world champion. She had to lose a whole bunch of title matches, a whole bunch of matches, and Tiffany Stratton putting her ass over and Nia Jax over for a year before they gave her an opportunity to give us something that she could have been giving us in the first run that she had before she walked out the fucking door. Bianca Belair was one of the top stars in the company, top stars in the industry. What happened under Triple H? She made her lose the title. She was out of the main event scene for a year and a half. She gets into the main event scene for WrestleMania, where she is booked as basically the automatic default heel, because she's going against Io Sky, beloved by everybody because she's one of the best wrestlers, and Rhea Ripley, one of the most popular stars in the goddamn company. And she gets booed out the building every week out. Why? Nothing she did. It's because of this shit booker. The Street Profits. Oh, they finally won the tag team titles in March. What have they been doing? They were off WrestleMania. They have a match of the year candidate with the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. And what are they doing now? They're taking bumps for Bray Wyatt's brother and his creepy friends. Carmelo Hayes, one of the biggest NXT stars out there, one of the greatest NXT champions of all time, wins Andre the Giant Memorial. What is he doing now? Sidekick to The Miz.
He's number one draft pick.
Triple H don't like niggas. He ain't never beaten those allegations, and I hope I am a part of the jury when we finally want to persecute him for his war crimes, because he is guilty. Guilty as a motherfucker, and this New Day booking malpractice of this year has been egregious, disgusting, and it's on purpose. It's not, oh, I was focused on other things, and No, I'm sick of it.
Triple H did it.
That nigga did it. Put that nigga under the jail.
Now that you've educated us very well on all of that, where's a lie? Where's a lie that this man just said? Tell me. Tell anyone. Where's a lie? Carmelo Hayes is the one that was the most eye-popping to me before last night. They propped him as the top prospect, made him the number one pick of the entire fucking brand. This man hasn't even sniffed singles gold in any capacity. He hasn't even looked like a contender for singles gold since being drafted. And mind you, this draft was a year ago. This has been for a year that this has happened. A year. Jade Cargill. This is only happening because they got to get ROI. They got to get return on their investment. This is all this is. If you know about business, this is all about return on investment. There is no outliers that says, oh, yeah, she has done that to get here. No, this is a business call to get return on their very expensive and lucrative investment, to force you to thinking that this was the right move and they are doing right by her. Right. So it also took Naomi to get fired and to go and become Trinity and basically show the company again that they fucked up. That they fucked up again. Where are these things? What's in common with all of this? You have the Street Profits that all of a sudden became these heels. No one asked for that. No one asked for that. No one asked for the Street Profits to change. All we asked for is y'all to make the Street Profits relevant. So y'all have to have y'all fingers on what they become relevant with and how they're relevant. Y'all literally took away what the fans loved about the Street Profits, which was their entrance. And y'all had to make it y'all own. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? The New Day had the best crowd reaction after Dom's Heat in the last decade of the WWE. And it hasn't even really been close. And what do y'all do? Y'all don't get these niggas any in-ring work for 7 weeks. I'm going to say 7 weeks, no match. That's almost 2 months, bro. And then the feather on the cap. Y'all cut the most beloved person in the locker room. The most beloved person in the locker room.
In both of my rants, I keep forgetting the R-Truth of it all. The R-Truth of it all. It's just like
the most beloved character in the company, behind the scenes, and whenever he's on screen. And then when y'all bring him back, you put a post and say you wanted it. You niggas wanted it.
It's all part of the show. And guess what? When it's part of the show, he has ran through any potential of R-Truth being a top star in record time.
And
he's in a mid-card feud with Aleister Black.
So
they can say at least one black one.
It took 3 weeks. It took 3 weeks to fuck up Ron Killings already. 3 weeks. Not even a full calendar month. It's been 3 weeks. And they got him scriptly saying the exact same thing so you can get bored of it. And then say it was not working. And it can be justified. Coincidence my ass.
No. It's a sign of behavior more than anything.
It's a sign of behavior. Pattern.
Yes, it becomes a pattern if it happens this pattern. Way.
So, like I said before, I knew he was right before he even started talking. Knew it immediately. Because I already knew what he was going to shit on. Mind you, we didn't talk pre-show at all. We talked for maybe 3 minutes, and it was mainly about other shit. About basketball, about other shit.
Yeah.
I already knew where this was going. Because it needed to be said. And it was said by the right man. And I appreciate you for saying that. Because people need to wake the fuck up when it comes to this. Because this ain't about Triple H fumbling the New Day. This is Triple H fumbling an entire culture.
Exactly. Like that. Like that's why I don't like. I can put all the focus on the New Day, but like we have to make it widespread. He ain't beating these allegations. The allegations are the allegation because that nigga did it. He did it.
It's and I hate that this had to be said directly after The Judgment Day won the tag team championships in my opinion, in their best match of 2025.
Probably right.
And it was clean with no shenanigans.
Probably the New Day's best match of 2025 as well.
Probably the New Day's best match. But there's never a perfect time, but there's a needed time to say that.
It's just very disappointing. It's very discouraging as someone that, like, you know, we grew, like we were talking about earlier, growing up in the Attitude Era and, you know, seeing The Rock and the Nation of Domination. Like, we cherish all those guys. Like, The Godfather is a gimmick that would not have translated in, like, this time. It could only become popular during that time. But I appreciated everything that he did.
Take it a step further. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Take it a step further. What have they done with the Boricua? What the fuck have they done with Damian Priest? Niggas cutting backstage promos about other people's business. This is a pattern.
Let's keep all the nationalities together here. Yep. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating to watch and to accept. Like,
it is because the vanilla train is really rising to the top rapidly, and we're now just becoming like that sauce, that dissolvable sauce that just goes away.
But thank you for bringing up R-Truth, because R-Truth and the New Day is the booking malpractice. The R-Truth is the business malpractice of what Triple H is trying to tell us. He don't like us
together. It just all went together. Like, it went from they fucked up booking, they fucked up politically, they fucked up socially. They fucked up sensitively. They fucked up culturally. But we just got to take it, eat it, and love it, right?
Yep. We do have a super chat donation from Chuck Berry. We got a super chat donation from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. I always appreciate you, good sir. He says, I will die on my hill alone by saying that I want the New Day to split up. And this terrible heel run did absolutely nothing to change my thoughts. And that's what I said. That's why I brought up all the build up to the heel turn, where we thought they were going to split up. And I think a lot of us had kind of gone again and be like, you know what, if they have a plan for it, it might work out. It might do something for Xavier Woods to finally be out on his own. But at this point, if they split up, I wouldn't be surprised if one or both
are going to get released.
Yeah, or not with the company moving forward.
Yeah, they can't split. Like, they can't split up. Like, we just went through the culture. And if we split the culture, it's going to get rid of them niggas.
Yeah.
Because they're not making them any money. Ain't nobody buying a Kofi Kingston t-shirt. Ain't nobody buying an Xavier Woods t-shirt. Ain't nobody going to buy the merchandise that they will put on their bodies. So it's just going to make matters worse. Stay awake. I'm not using stay woke. Fuck that woke shit. Just keep your eyes open, because it is glaring what's happening. And I highly suggest that this needs to be a True Heel Heat cuts moment.
Yeah, I might be telling Baby Seth that soon. But yes, we can move on now. Maybe I'll have one more rant in me on True Heel Heat on Saturday to talk about this again. But Jackie Redmond is backstage with Bayley. Bailey, speaking of another minority that gets the short end of the stick, Bailey said that she should be the current Intercontinental Champion, but Lyra Valkyria got in her way. Bailey's goal has not changed. In comes Lyra, who was offended because Bailey wouldn't return her messages, but would talk about her behind her back. They had a heated argument with one another, basically over who hated Becky Lynch more. They screamed at each other until Adam Pearce interrupted and screamed even louder than them to stop.
How red he is.
He made a match between the two for tonight, and he said that the winner would face Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship sometime down the road. So that was set up for later in the show. We'll get into that matchup very shortly here. But then we also got, during the ad break, Grayson Waller got some interview time as he was inspired by New Day cutting the dead weight and turning on Big E, and thought he could learn something. That was 7 months ago. And he teases that he is done with Austin Theory, but won't outright say it. Yes, I'm glad you missed that too. Then there was...
the dead weight was talking.
Then we had Chad Gable. He was backstage and spoke to American Made. Adam Pearce.
Real quick.
Good.
Look at Seth's comment. How many weeks has this been already? How many weeks has this been already? Like, the patterns are ridiculous. Like, they just don't learn. It's every week. Feels like we're going to be on repeat every week.
It seems so. There was there was Chad Gable. He spoke to American Made backstage. GM Adam Pearce comes in and joins to say that he was sorry to hear about Gable's injury and says that he is not medically cleared and wished him luck. Gable says that he made his own luck, and then Pearce figured he wouldn't be seeing El Grande Americano for a while. Gable says that he was a really busy luchador, but you never know. After Pearce left the scene, we see Gable giving his teammates their marching orders. Brutus Creed said they would be lost without him, but Gable said that he wants Ivy now to get revenge on Stephanie Vicaire, and he wants the Creeds to prove their championship potential, and he wants them to listen to Ivy while he is gone. Gable then left the scene, and we see all the while Ludwig Kaiser is in the background listening to all of this and apparently coming up with his own plan, because Jackie Redmond would interview American Made later in the show, asking Ivy now about an announcement that we will get on shortly that was made by GM Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, until Un Grande Americano suddenly appears, much taller and lankier.
Yeah. Is there a way to split this picture?
I don't know. I can't split it.
So go out and go back in. Look at this growth spurt that just took place. And now go back to Grande.
Well, that's it. That's this person, and then
whoa! What? What the fuck platformers is he on?
What a growth spurt! What a growth spurt!
Ivy Nile is at this nigga's fucking shoulder, the bottom of the shoulder.
Redmond asked them for a comment, and an excited Brutus was about to say something until Ivy cut him off and left. What do you think about this growth spurt for El Grande Americano?
The suit don't even fit him.
He had to stretch out the suit.
The suit don't even fit him.
Nope.
This is... Oh, God. Oh God. Oh God. Like you know what? I guess I enjoy like the in-ring stuff like so much this week that all of this shit is just making me make this shit lose points. like like you just saw like 3 back-to-back shit segments. You just saw Grayson Waller. You just saw Lyra looking dumb. Then you just seen this nigga Grande Americano grow like 18 inches.
Hey, sometimes it happens like that, you know? They should start the camera at like his nipples and it'd be like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Going up, you know?
What the fuck is happening? This shit has literally lost like 3 points in the last 3 seconds.
Damn it! All the points that it made off of Judgment Day and New Day and McAfee not being here, it just lost it in the last couple of segments.
Now we're back to square one.
We do see Finn Balor and JD McDonough. They approach GM Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce backstage. Balor said that Raquel Rodriguez has worked very hard to be the tag team champion, and it would be mean of the GMs to strip her of the titles because of Liv Morgan's injury. Balor suggested that they give her a new partner, and JD says, well, I wonder who? And he says, oh yeah, how about Roxanne Perez? Pearce and Aldis basically were about to talk it over. Balor said, you know, that helps out everyone. It gets matches for you on Raw, matches for you on SmackDown. Pearce and Aldis then huddle over the decision, and they agree to it. However, they want Roxanne and Raquel to prove themselves as a tag team, so they would have to defend the belts at Evolution against a team from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Balor and McDonough were initially caught off guard by this, but they did agree, and it is made official for WWE Evolution. We will have a fatal 4-way for the Women's Tag Team Championships. The Judgment Days, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez defending against a team from Raw, a team from SmackDown, and a team from NXT. 8 women in this matchup. We're getting as many women as possible on this Evolution card. More power to them. Any thoughts?
No.
I feel like you're still over this. You're not over it.
No.
All right, let's talk about something good here. We get Rusev going one-on-one with Sheamus. This is a match that's been building over the last couple of weeks. The former friends, they've been in multi-man matches in the last couple of weeks, but this was their first singles match since 2014. They clobbered each other until Sheamus brought Rusev off the apron with a power slam to the outside, hitting hard. They were just beating the hell out of each other throughout this matchup. Rusev took over during the commercial break, and Sheamus went shoulder first into the ring post. Sheamus began to no-sell Rusev's kicks and kept inviting him to do more and hit him harder. Sheamus got to his feet and fired up. He hits a backbreaker followed by a diving knee drop, a King Kong knee drop for a 2. But no, Rusev kicked out at 1 actually. Rusev came back with a spinning heel kick for a 2 count and then a fall away slam for another 2. Rusev hits a big superplex off the top rope before we go to another commercial break. We come back from break and Rusev's in firm control of things until Sheamus starts fighting back. He gets him on his shoulder and he hits white noise right as we come back from commercial break. They took turns clobbering each other some more until Sheamus hits a big power slam. He gets him on the apron and he hits the 10 beats of the Bowery, just clubbering at Rusev's chest. He goes for a bro kick, but Rusev's able to duck it as Sheamus fought him off again and hit consecutive running knee strikes that he calls the kneecap for a 2. Rusev responded by hitting a Uranagi, a jumping Mashka kick. He applies the accolade to absolutely no reaction from this crowd before Sheamus is able to manage to get on his feet. He hoists Rusev on his back, and then they spill to the outside. On the outside, Sheamus hits the bro kick, and Rusev just barely makes it back before the count of 10. They brawl on the apron until Rusev thumbs Sheamus right into the eye. He then exposes the inanimate metal rod off the top turnbuckle and then rams Rusev's sternum first and throat first into the turnbuckle. Both of these things happened right in front of the referee. No disqualification, I guess. Rusev then follows up. He has a Mashka kick to a kneel down Sheamus and then pins him for the 1-2-3. This was a hard hitting physical affair. This was a lot better than I thought it would be. I thought this was a very good matchup. Borderline great match, but I think it went a little too long. This went over 20 minutes. I think if you cut this down by like 5 minutes, I think it's a lot smoother. The finish was a little bit stupid with the referee basically seeing that that Rusev dumbed him in the eye and then used the metal rod of the top turnbuckle and didn't say anything, didn't even admonish Rusev. But other than that, I thought this was very good. This was physically intense and hard hitting. I enjoyed it. What did you think?
I fucking loved this match. Like, I loved this match. Like, this was so old school. This was such a throwback match. Like, if you don't like old school throwback style matches, you're not gonna care about this. But damn, this was a hoss fight. Like, and I like every here and there, you can get a good hoss fight, and I really appreciated it, and I enjoyed it more. I enjoyed this thoroughly. Like, this was great. The only thing that I took out of this is that this might be Rusev's only good match. Because
but, I mean, the scary thing for this match is that yes, this was Rusev's probably best match since like 2021. This crowd did not give a fuck about him.
Yeah.
Every time he was on offense, they were deathly quiet.
Yeah, they didn't even react. And that's due to him though, because he didn't play to the crowd at all. No. Like, at all. Like, he did nothing towards the crowd. He did his, remember this shit from back? He did that. That's literally all he did. That's literally all he did emotionally all match. And no one's going to care if you don't care about them. No one's going to care. Sheamus, every time Sheamus played to the crowd, they got involved. Every time. The 10 beat to the barrel, him rallying them up, him getting ready for the brogue. Every time he did something, they were involved. He did jack shit to get them involved. And that's why I think this is probably going to be his only good match, because he ain't going to fight Sheamus every week.
I don't know, because people do tend to fall into the Sheamus. Because you've been on here long enough where we have seen multiple people fall into the Sheamus vortex. How many matches did he have with Ludwig Kaiser? How many matches did he have with Pete Dunne?
Let's see. I don't mind seeing this probably maybe 1 or 2 more times. But don't give me a best of 7 of this. Don't give me a best of 7 of this. Like, I think Big E had called for a best of 7 for this. Please. We don't need 7 of these matches. Like 7. You telling me we're gonna see the same? We would see the same ass match until fucking October? Like, nah. I'm gonna want both of them to be fired.
That's wild.
Like, nah. Not 7 times, bro. Maybe 1 or 2 more. Maybe they can have a blow off match, like they have some type of like street fight at a PLE, and like Sheamus could get one, and then they have the blow off at a PLE. That'll be the 3, and then move the fuck on. Because I have very, very little hope for Rusev in this run. Very little hope.
That is fair. That is fair. Then we get Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis officially announcing that there will be a battle royal at Evolution in honor of the first Evolution that had a battle royal, but this one would be with a lot bigger stakes. The winner of this matchup would earn a title match at WWE Clash in Paris this August. This was a very uninspiring announcement by the GMs here. They did not make this sound like it was supposed to be this big time matchup. This is legitimately, we got to get as many people on this card as possible. But we did get a favorite immediately say they're going to be in this matchup, as during the ad break, Byron Saxton interviewed Stephanie Vaquer. Vaquer was excited for the Battle Royal. It sounds like whoever wins will get to pick which champion they face, as she says that she didn't come to Raw to be second place, and if she won the Battle Royal, she planned on facing either Io Sky or Rhea Ripley, whoever comes out of Evolution. Vaquer has traveled the world and would not stop until she was world champion. What do you think about the announcement by Peace and Aldis for the Battle Royal and Stephanie Vaquer entering her name into the hat?
Thank God they had show Stephanie, because this, yeah, they it looked like a job required to do announcement, like they just had to go and do it, and then they just made it all better by showing Bay. They just made it all better. See, now we're in a good mood. Now we're in a good mood. We got to see Stephanie Vaquer, and she's about to be in a very, very important spot here, because she's definitely winning that stupid battle royal. She's definitely gonna win that, and then we can now look forward to seeing her get a championship opportunity. And I'm glad that it's kind of not happened. They're not just like rushing this into SummerSlam. That this will have a chance to manifest itself, and she will actually get some build up for it. So I'm looking forward to that part. If she doesn't win, throw this whole fucking thing away.
When are we going to get like a month between PLEs? Because I just remember that the Clash of the Castle, Clash in Paris is like 3 weeks after SummerSlam.
Isn't that in September? Isn't it Clash in
Nah.
Paris?
It's the end of August.
Oh, great. Love that. Love that. So now we're getting 2 PLEs a month.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening in September?
I don't know. I guess that was when we finally... I guess that's when we get a break. We get a break from every 3 weeks. I guess September. Yeah, it's August 31st. So yeah, I guess it's technically 4 weeks. So that's good. At least it's 4
All right,
weeks.
they at least get 4 shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get okay. All right. That's something. They get 4, 11, 18, 25. All right.
The fact that we're glorifying 4 weeks for a bill.
With a fucking victory.
So after Jackie Redmond talked to American Made and saw the new El Grande Americano, she sees Sami Zayn nearby, and she was about to interview him about his win at Night of Champions when Karrion Kross shows up out of nowhere and attacks Sami with a lead pipe. He hits him in the ribs with the lead pipe and lays him out. We get security and officials showing up to stop him from furthering assaulting Sami, who was supposed to be scheduled for tonight's main event, where he will team with Penta against the Braun Stars. So Karrion Kross says that this war with him and Sami is far from over. Any thoughts on Kross continuing his rivalry with Sami Zayn?
Say it, Sammy. Say it.
Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say Kross is right.
I actually kind of dug that. Like the psychopath, that he's kind of leaning into the psychopath that Michael Cole has been talking about for weeks. And he just, say it. Say it. Say you're a liar, damn it. I kind of enjoyed that. Sam, listen, man, and Karrion Kross, I'm actually glad that he's doing this to Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn deserves it. because Sami Zayn is too goody two shoe right now, man. Like the fuck, man. How many L's are you gonna take? How many
He
L's?
won. He won at Night of Champions.
Yeah. He won. He won at Night of Champions. He got a W at Night of Champions. But he ain't look like a loser. He ain't look like a winner. Few hours later, and it translated even later. Back to the column for you, sir.
Oh, now this. Davion, the Super Show for Mexico is a house show, but I think that's in July, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, I
we'll
know All Out is in September. That's AEW. I'm just trying to see how many PLEs WWE is going to throw in September. How many?
Yeah, because
you know Saturday Night Event is coming again.
They might throw the NXT No Mercy on the same day as All Out.
Yep.
The way they've been moving.
Yeah. Yep.
Mind you, they're doing a house show in Newcastle in England on the same day as Forbidden Door.
And mind you, these niggas don't have enough. It don't have enough. They got one of their WWE niggas about to fucking headline Slammiversary. Like what the fuck? You can't breathe in one of these WWE niggas ain't on the show.
Nah, they everywhere. They everywhere,
fucking roaches.
They anywhere, everywhere, all at once.
Like fucking roaches,
We got another super chat donation from our good brother Dion Jenkins. Thank you so much, Dion, for the support. He says, I think the PLEs 3 weeks apart would be more acceptable if they were brand exclusive, like what they were in 2003 through 2007 and 2016 through 2017. You would need the shows to be brand exclusive as well, Dion, and they don't do that.
Yeah, they're definitely not. They're definitely not. These niggas are on each other's shows every week. Like, literally every week.
LA Knight from SmackDown.
What the fuck is LA Knight doing on Raw multiple times? Just there. He's just there. Like, it ain't even like, oh, he made a special appearance. This nigga was there. He was there tonight. He was there like last week. He was there like 2 weeks. Like, yeah, they ain't gonna work because these niggas is on each other's shows every fucking week anyway.
Yeah,
fucking pathetic. So I don't care about the draft. Fucking do the draft. They're gonna end up on everybody's shows anyway.
Yeah, it's like at this point they've already missed my enthusiasm on a draft by how they've been booking the shows. So I don't even want them to do a draft this year.
It's pointless. Fucking pointless.
Thank you so much, Dion, for the super chat donation.
Appreciate the thought, yes. But we're more thoughtful than they are over there.
We do get a Goldberg video package to hype up his retirement match coming up at Saturday night's main event with the soundtrack by 3 Days Grace, Dominate, where we see highlights of his WCW run as well as his WWE run and his latest couple of runs over the last couple of years, culminating with what Gunther said to Goldberg and his son Gage at Bad Blood and set up their matchup for Saturday night's main event next week from this Saturday. So we shall see what goes down there. What did you think about the quick little video package they played here?
Solid little. You know, you're gonna give the man some flowers. You know, he has done quite a bit in the industry, so you know it's a nice way to begin his send off. Because what we gonna get on July 12th ain't gonna be the send-off. It's just gonna put some ugly memories back in y'all head. So it's good to see this good stuff now.
Fair. Dion making a good point, making me remember. He says GM should be button heads because the other show's guys keep invading their show. Remember like 2 years ago they were doing that when Pierce and Aldis would get mad when like Jey Uso would come on SmackDown to attack Jimmy Uso, or Jimmy Uso coming to cost Jey Uso a matchup, and the GMs would be button heads with each other. Now they just let it happen.
No. What makes it even worse is that now these niggas are on each other's shows. The fuck is Nick Aldis doing on Raw? While Adam Pearce is there. And what the fuck is Adam Pearce doing on SmackDown while Nick Aldis is there? These niggas are just having tea and crumpets.
It's like, the kids are playing together. Oh, that's nice. After the Goldberg video package, we did hear from the Ring General, Gunther. Gunther comes out and he gets on the mic and he spoke about the impressive Goldberg video package documenting his career. He says Goldberg was violent, brutal, and destructive. But just like his matches, all of his highlights were summed up in 3 minutes. Gunther was not afraid of what was left of Goldberg. He was a 58-year-old man writing out his career at Gunther's expense. That was not going to happen because Goldberg was not capable of taking the title from him. Gunther knew he could beat Goldberg in 3 minutes, but that was not his goal. Gunther would take his time, blow him up, and embarrass him in front of everyone he loves. Goldberg said he didn't like bullies, but too bad you bumped into the biggest bully around here. Gunther planned on bullying him, treating him like trash, and there was nothing he could do about it. Goldberg wanted to prove he still had it, but Gunther would prove he never had it. Once it was over, it would be Gunther's turn to ask that one simple question: who's next? I love the way he said it. He did not try to sound intimidating. It was almost like he laughed when he said it. He was like, who's next? But who is next? The music of Seth freaking Rollins hit. And out comes Seth and Paul Heyman, with Seth and Heyman holding a brand new Money in the Bank briefcase with a redesign, more of the colors of Seth Rollins. So apparently Seth's going to hold this a little while longer. Gunther made fun of Rollins for traveling very far to accomplish nothing. Rollins laughed at that statement. Rollins informed him that they did not go to Night of Champions to cash in on John Cena. Rollins made it clear that as long as he was alive, CM Punk would not be a champion in WWE. They flew across the world to stand on that business as the fans started chanting CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. Rollins told Gunther that winning the Money in the Bank briefcase meant that it was an all-out assault on both championships. He looks down at the title, he moves in close to Gunther, and he says, "Hey, champ." But then the music of CM Punk hits, and out comes the Second City Saint. He sprints straight to the ring and he attacks Rollins. They brawl for a bit until Rollins pokes him in the eye and bails out of the ring and then into the crowd. Punk called him a coward and started calling back for Seth to come fight him some more. The crowd chanted for Punk again as Punk was about to leave until Gunther grabbed him by the arm and Punk shoved Gunther right onto his ass. Gunther actually falling to the mat, and he looked very nonplussed about being shoved down by Punk. A pissed off Punk screamed at Gunther to not stay out of his way as he marched to the back, and Gunther was stunned by this interaction with CM Punk. Rollins was amused by all of this in the stands, but eventually he was not amused, as coming from behind was a returning LA Knight. Yeah, LA Knight fought with Seth, attacking him, throwing some popcorn in his face. They fight into the corridor in front of some fans. Rollins tosses a drink in Knight's face and then runs off. And then it was announced that Seth Rollins will go one-on-one with LA Knight at Saturday night's main event on Saturday, July 12th from Atlanta, Georgia. So this was a very entertaining segment. I thought that Gunther's promo was another excellent addition. I've been loving his promo work in the lead up to this Gunther matchup. He has a clear message. He's taking Goldberg seriously, but also not that seriously. He's fairly confident that he's going to beat Goldberg to the point that he is cocky about it, which will make it more of a compelling matchup because you can easily see Goldberg taking advantage of that and beating him because of that. So it makes this build a lot more interesting with the promo work he's doing. I thought Seth coming out and basically giving a switching of the narrative because he definitely was trying to cash in. But I love his heel logic of I accomplished my goal. I just didn't want Punk to win the championship. So he made himself look good in the end. I like that type of heel narrative. This was a better week on the mic for Seth. And then Punk coming out very aggressive, very angry off of being screwed at Night of Champions, and then taking that out more on Gunther than Rollins because Gunther decided to grab him by the arm. And I feel like that sets up a even more intriguing matchup than even a rehash of John Cena and CM Punk, a lot slower than they were back in 2011, like we saw in Night of Champions. I'm more interested in a CM Punk versus Gunther match for the World Heavyweight Championship than I ever was in CM Punk versus John Cena. That's something new. That's something fresh. We can get Punk away from Seth, who he's been feuding with way too long. It's been 2 years now. And I like the fresh matchup potentially between Seth and Gunther, and that feels like a bigger option for Rollins to cash in Money in the Bank on. And I like LA Knight making his return here and a little fun brawl through the corridor area, which I always enjoy when brawls make it up there. So all in all, this was arguably one of the better segments of the night. What did you think, Top Guy?
No, this was good. This was really good. So the line that I got out of Gunther, I swear to God, I swear to you right now, if Gunther is somehow able to get an 11-minute match out of Goldberg, I will give it 5 stars off default. Off default. Fair. 11 minutes. If he's able to, he say he's going to blow him up, which means he is going to make Goldberg work for a longer period of time. If he's able to pull that shit off, that's new territory for Gunther right there. Like that's some real GOAT type shit. If you're able to get an 11-minute match out of Goldberg, something that just about nobody's been able to do. Prime or no prime. So that's a goal there. But yeah, no, it was good. Like, you know, obviously some of the same material from the week prior, but I like the little twist that he put into it. And then, yeah, see, this is a better Seth Rollins that we got like this week. This was better. This was better. You had purpose in this promo. You had substance and reason, and not just babbling on for 12 minutes to literally start the fucking night. Yeah. Like, so this was good. And then all the mingle, all of the interaction with CM Punk, and then now you're in trouble with LA Knight. So now you're starting to pay for your actions of what you're doing to literally everybody. So I like it. Like Seth Rollins right now is a marked man. So like that's a good deal as the Money in the Bank holder, which almost kind of makes you feel like he might fail in this cash in because I'm not sure people are gonna let this happen. Like, like somebody's gonna constantly get in the way, and he's got a lot of enemies. And mind you, there's a big enemy that has not returned yet. So when that comes time for that, you got to now then deal with Big Oos.
Yep. OTC.
So, like, I think he might fail this cash in. Like, because I just think he's going to have way too many obstacles to get through to actually successfully do this. So, and he don't got enough members. Like, he don't have enough people. He needs to increase this group by at least another member. So, you know, I like this part is interesting. I'm digging this. I'm digging this line here because this piece doesn't have all the puzzles in it, and it's still relatively good.
What did you think about Punk shoving down Gunther? I don't want them to book Gunther like how they booked him his first run. And that was kind of like a scary side. Even though I enjoyed all of it, I did not like that part of him just pushing him down and Gunther just taking it and not doing anything in response.
So I think that he's going to minorly address it next week, like minorly, because the focus is still going to be on Goldberg. And then when he's done with Goldberg, he ain't letting that shit slide with CM Punk. Gunther has never been in any way, shape, or form heel, cocky, laughing, joking, killer, serious, has never, ever backed down from a confrontation. And it ain't going to change with CM Punk. So he going to get to CM Punk. He just, and this is where the intelligence of this man is going to come in, is that he knows he's got to finish up business with Goldberg before getting to CM Punk. But he going to get to CM Punk.
So you think it's going to be Punk and Gunther at SummerSlam?
I think it's going to be Punk and Gunther at SummerSlam. So there you go. You got match 4. 8 to go.
We're just counting it off. We're just...
Yeah, I do think, because one, like you said, like that's going to be a fresh take on a match. Like that'll be a fresh match. Obviously, you'll get the rematch with Cody and John Cena. You're going to get Gunther and CM Punk. So far, like the top of the card feels like it's going to be very promising. So like, you know, at least you got that. And then Seth Rollins is going to deal with one of these enemies.
I think at this, if it's Punk and Gunther at SummerSlam, I think they might do Roman and Seth at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's got to be Big Oos. It's got to be Big Oos. And
because I was surprised they named LA Knight versus Seth, because I thought they were going to do Roman and Bron Breakker and Seth and LA Knight at SummerSlam.
Yeah, because then you might see what might happen is that Gunther might have a tough match. And Seth might attempt to cash in. And then Big Oos returns on Saturday night's main event, which would lead into the match for SummerSlam.
I can see that. That would make sense to set everything up. And, you know, they want to use Saturday night main event to promote whatever big show they got coming up.
That would make Saturday night's main event kind of have a level of importance to it, that you can have like a big return following something monumental that could possibly happen, which would make Saturday night's main event relatively important. And you know
they're going to want
it's all in, and it's happening the same day. It's all in.
Exactly. I was like, that's the big one.
All in.
That's the big one where I was like, you know what? You're right. They are going to do that because they want to take all the news away from All In Texas. So immediately after that show ends, you have Roman Reigns make his return. That's going to get all the headlines.
Yeah. So again, WWE dick on the table style move.
Oh, that's
I hate how fucking maniacal this place is.
I hate how predictable it is, but I also love it. Jackie Redmond catches up with CM Punk backstage later in the show and asks him about what happened. He says that he has a receipt for Rollins, for Heyman, for the Brons, for Gunther, and anyone else who got in his way. Speaking of which, he confronts LA Knight nearby. He told LA Knight that Rollins belonged to him and to get to the back of the line. But Knight informs him, well, actually, he was like, I already got Seth Rollins. You can have him 6 days out of the week, but Saturday night's main event, Rollins is mine. So not only is he not going to get to the back of the line, I am the line. Yeah. And then left.
I love that interaction. I did.
Yes, that was great. That was great.
I thought that was, put that motherfucker in his place.
Absolutely. I was like, yes, LA Knight, yes. Shut this motherfucker out. This entitled bitch.
Like, you couldn't fucking get rid of Seth Rollins now for how many months now?
It's been 2 years.
9 months?
It's been 2 years. What are we talking about?
They had their first match 6 months ago, and he's still a thorn in your side? Nigga, you ain't doing your job. You ain't doing your job. Duh. He fucking
Oh man.
cost you the steel cage match. He cost you the championship at Elimination Chamber. You have yet to like definitively beat this guy and get him
He
out of your
beat you.
picture.
He beat you at WrestleMania. He
And
cost you Money in the Bank.
like, yo, maybe he's just too big for you, bruh.
Maybe like, let me handle it, pal. Like,
That was
the
great.
Judgment.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I like that interaction. The Judgment Day are backstage and they are discussing and celebrating all their wins and titles on the night. Perez is happily holding on to her new tag team title when Raquel Rodriguez comes in, and she's upset that they were just replacing Morgan so quickly and said that she's been rehabbing hard 2 times a day. Balor, though, tells us that he knew from experience how hard it was to come back from a shoulder injury. And he just wanted to see Raquel stay champion. Rodriguez reluctantly agreed, but Balor said he wanted to take a vote. He says that he wanted to declare Roxanne Perez an official member of the Judgment Day. He says, you already know my answer. She's in. JD says that he wants to see them hold on to the titles, so he says yes to Roxanne. He asks Dom, and Dom says that he's got to talk to Liv first. And Finn tells him to make a decision on his own, make a decision for himself. He says tentatively, yes. And then Finn says it's all on Raquel, and she says as long as we get to keep the titles, then yes. He reluctantly says yes. Balor is very happy with himself, and all of the Judgment Day clanked their titles together and then took this beautiful picture that they posted on social media that is our thumbnail of all the Judgment Day having all the gold. World Tag Team titles, WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, and the Intercontinental Championship. They are all gold up.
That's a fire picture.
It is.
That is a fire picture. Even though JD couldn't get his title in the picture, but that's great. Good job. It's a fire.
We see
picture.
half of it. We see half of it.
We see half of it.
Raquel is showing more personality in this picture than she's ever shown on WWE TV.
Hey, she's making it work though. And guess what they got back? They got their motherfucking PlayStation back, cuz. They got the motherfucking PlayStation back. WWE finally dropped like $300 for a refurbished PS5, bro. Did you know they bought that shit refurbished?
Refurbished and everything. Love it. Love it. Oh man, that's such good. I'm much more into Judgment Day than I was 6 months ago. So don't take anything that I ranted about with the New Day losing the title. It's 100% to do with how New Day's been booked. It's not to do with the Judgment Day winning. I do think it is a little bit of a step back to go directly to the Judgment Day again after they just held the titles at the end of 2024. Don't get me wrong there. But this is a new variation of the Judgment Day and a new story that's kind of being told. Even though we have seen the Judgment Day with all the gold in the past, this is a different version of it, and I think it's for the best for their story.
I like who has what titles, so yeah. I like that. Like it's a good nucleus, especially they're all in that, like they're trying to elevate that mid-card title picture. So with all of them having it, it's going to make them feel more important. And then I think the crowd is actually digging them more weekly. So it's becoming easier to indulge with having the the Judgment Day like this. Like this, this is good timing. It just happened to come at the expense of what we talked about earlier. But the timing of what they have, it works. It's just not going to get past that first part.
No, doesn't seem like that. We'll see what happens. We also
They don't even. I'm looking on the. They got lit, bro. On the PS5
Yeah.
back there, Roxanne.
Yeah, they have all their characters. All their characters.
I was like, damn, y'all couldn't even put Liv on the game picture?
No,
That's crazy.
only the people who have gold right now. Only the people who have gold. We then get a video package hyping up Kairi Sane and her pirate character, talking about how she's fought with heart and honor. She's held the NXT Women's Championship and WWE Women's Tag Team titles, and now she's fighting to be a champion once again. She stands on her own, and the Pirate Princess is here. This would have been nice before she made her return.
Yeah. 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 But, you know, they did it. They decided now, but sure. It was cool. It was cool. But this is the opposite of good timing.
Because up next,
of good timing.
No, not good timing at all. Up next, we get our number one contenders matchup for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Bayley going one-on-one with Lyra Valkyria. Bayley targeted Valkyria's back in the early going. She applied a Boston Crab until Valkyria got a rope break. They collided with a dueling crossbody attempt ahead of the commercial break. Valkyria took over, but you would have missed all of her offense because it happened entirely during the commercial break. Bayley fought back, and when they returned and hit a superplex, they tried for dual cradles at one point, both getting kickouts. Valkyria spilled out of the ring after a Bayley side suplex, and Bayley followed up with a leaping elbow drop off the steps. Lyra responded with a swinging neck breaker, hitting the mat hard on Bayley, but Bayley came back with a sunset flip powerbomb into the corner for a 2. Lyra hits a vicious looking gut wrench sit out powerbomb where Bayley landed high on her neck. They traded cradles once again. They tried to go for their finishers with the Rose Plant and the Nightwing. They trade cradles again, and then this time the cradle leads to a double pinfall attempt where Lyra basically could have lifted up her shoulders at any point. There's no pressure on her shoulders at all. It was like she wanted to get pinned. The referee counts the 3 count for both women, and you knew this would be the finish. I'll give Triple H credit for not going the usual route of a run-in and the champion breaking things up, saying I have no challengers, which they usually do with these number one contenders matchup. You knew the finish was going to be a one that was like a double count out or double disqualification or something or another. The matchup was good, but goddamn, this crowd did not give a damn. Bayley grabbed Valkyria post-match, and Valkyria turned her around with a clothesline. They wound up brawling into the crowd until a bunch of officials came in to separate the two. But this match went over 10 minutes. Like I said, it was good work from both ladies, but this crowd could not give a fuck, JJ. What did you think?
It was a very sloppy beginning, but it got really good. It got good. And part of me likes sloppy starts because it just looks like 2 angry people just doing whatever to get an advantage. And it comes off good because it's sloppy, so that it doesn't look like just 2 people that's pissed off at each other and then they go and flawlessly execute like a fucking ballerina play. Like, this was just a sloppy start because they were both pissed off. So I like that mesh together, and then it turned into a pretty good match. And then I'm like, bro, come on, Lyra. We've seen the workouts that you do. Like, we've seen them. You could have done a sit-up. You could have done a sit-up. Like, Bayley wasn't even touching you, sis. She wasn't even touching you. Like you weren't that exhausted. Like we know you got like one of the greatest staminas in the entire women's locker room. So I wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying that. But Yeah, like at least they didn't have like a run-in and some dumb shenanigan to make Adam Pearce fake mad. And now they gotta settle it again. So I'm cool with that. So, it is what it is.
Becky's going to be like, I have no challengers, and that leads to Pierce being like, triple threat at Evolution, or he's going to announce it on social media.
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah. I think the triple threat will probably steal the show at Evolution, though. So I'll give it that. At least there's that. Then we see Penta checking on Sami Zayn backstage as Sami Zayn is still hurt from the beatdown from Karrion Kross. He asks him if he still wanted to wrestle. Zayn gets up on his feet and he gives him the Zero Mero sign and says that he is ready. Meanwhile, we see Paul Heyman was on the phone with Seth freaking Rollins, who apparently already left the building. Bronson Reed asks him, where's the visionary? A normal question. Heyman said Rollins was already on a jet perfecting Plan B. Reed wanted to know what that was before Heyman could answer. Bron Breakker interrupted and said the plan was for him to smash whoever got in their way. Heyman wasn't sure that was the plan, but Breakker didn't care and told some guy to hit his music. I like Bron Breakker in the backstage there. And that led to our main event of the evening, Sami Zayn and Penta versus the Braun Stars, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed of the Seth Riders with Paul Heyman in their corner. You get Penta and Zayn. They knock the heels to the floor. Penta and Zayn both do Penta's little walk before wiping out their opponents with big tope con helos to the floor. It didn't matter because Reed caught Penta out of midair and then hits him with the world's strongest slam to take control. Penta eventually makes a comeback following the commercial break and tags in Sami Zayn, who wiped out both men with the Arabian press and did the Sabu pose afterwards. A battle in the corner led to Zayn hitting Reed with the sunset flip powerbomb for a 2. Reed came right back and hits a DVD on Sami for a 2 count. Braun knocked Sami over the announce table with his leaping clothesline off the apron. The heels took over after that. As you know, they are beating down the babyface Zayn, and during the commercial break, Zayn fought back the moment they returned from commercial break and eventually makes the hot tag to Penta, who starts running wild. Penta hit Braun with a flying crossbody. He kicked his leg out of his leg and hits a sling blade. Penta hit a drop kick in the corner and then snapped Braun's arm over the top turnbuckle. Arm snapping appears to do nothing, though, because Breakker comes back and hits a military press, but Penta countered that into a DDT. Heyman distracted the referee, which allowed Reed to knock Penta down from the top rope. Braun followed with the Breakensteiner, and then Reed hits a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count when Sami breaks up the cover. Penta avoided a tsunami and tagged in Zayn, who hit an exploder on Braun in the corner. He goes for the Aluva kick, but Braun comes leaping out of the corner with a big clothesline. Braun went for a spear, but Sami hits him with a big boot, turning him inside out. Cole completely undersold that spot. Reed broke up the cover when he goes for the 3 count Sami. Sami tries a vertical suplex on Bronson, but he's unable to do it because of his weakened ribs. Penta attacks Reed on the apron. He drops him on the top rope. Zayn manages to hit the suplex. The crowd popped, but it did not matter as he turns around right into Bron Breakker, hitting the spear. I don't know where the hell Penta went because Penta literally just helped him with Bronson Reed, and then he's completely out of it and doesn't see Braun hit the spear, get the 1, 2, 3 for the Braun Stars to pick up their first tag team victory here on Raw. Penta comes checking on Sami post-match, but he doesn't see that Bron Breakker is behind him once again. He hits him with the spear after distraction from Reed. Reed goes to the top rope and he's about to destroy Sami's ribs with the tsunami when Jey Uso comes out with the steel chair. He peppers Braun with the steel chair to the back. He gets in on Bronson. He hits a couple of punches, hits a super kick, then grabs a steel chair and launches it at Bronson's head, laying him out. The Braun Stars have to regroup with Paul Heyman on the floor while the babyfaces celebrate and stand tall to end the show with the crowd yeeting for Jey Uso. Fun tag team main event. I thought everybody worked well. Sami fit in very well here as the weakened, injured babyface in peril. Penta was on fire whenever he was in the ring. He just has undeniable charisma that gets the crowd into all of his matches and his high-flying lucha libre style. And then Sami was very impressive here, fighting from underneath as he always does. He's a great underdog babyface, but the Braun Stars were very impressive here. They worked really well together. They fit like the basically overpowering heels that they're supposed to be, and I like them getting the win. I just didn't like Penta basically helping Sami with Bronson and then just forgetting to help him with Braun, like literally right after that. I was like, what were you doing? What took you so long? That didn't make any sense, but outside of that, I enjoyed it, and I definitely enjoyed Jey Uso making the save post-match. What did you think?
He was suave.
He was doing a slow walk, right? He was like,
Penta has become such a star. He forgets that he's in matches sometimes.
he's a fucking meme now. Like, what the fuck?
But it was cool. Like it was a fun. One thing I didn't like about this match at all is that Braun needs to start learning how to sell, bro. Like Braun doesn't sell for shit, my nigga. Like he sells nothing. How you gorilla press this nigga 15 seconds after the sacrifice? Like that shit just when shit like that happens, like it like fucks my mind up for the majority of the match. Because it's like, damn, bro, you just don't give a fuck about anything in this match but your moveset. like, good lord. But like it was cool at points. Like I'm really proud of how Bronson Reed is developing though. Like Bronson Reed is really like honing in. Like I'm proud of that. But like we got the ability to make these dudes a main event tag team. We got the ability to make these dudes some trash ass meshed up music.
Yes.
But we still don't know who they are.
And they still don't have a name.
That's
I have to call them the Braun Stars and the Seth Riders.
Yeah. So what about that? It's been
anytime.
You know, it's been a couple months now. Like, who are y'all? Yeah, I got time to rename the wise man the Oracle like he needed it. Fuck are we doing here? Just asking. Just trying to figure this out. Because that meshed up together music was hot garbage. That shit was hot garbage. And
when individually they have good music, so it's kind of weird.
Like, this shit bothering me now because it's like, y'all main event in shows every week. Who the fuck are y'all? But it was fun. Like, it was cool. And Jey Uso feels like he's in kind of like a right spot right now. Like, not the guy, but a part of a very important story. So, yeah. Like, I do like that. I like that for him. So whenever they get to bridge him off somewhere else, like it can be rather seamless compared to having to do another program and take a title off him and do all of that. So like, you know, he's in a good spot. Solid finish. It was a good match, not the best match, but it was a good match. So yeah, it's a nice solid way to end the show.
Yeah, thought it was a good night as far as the in-ring work. Some of the storytelling. I appreciate them making matches for Atlanta and setting some stuff up for SummerSlam. So that was better than last week. I'll give them that. And then the in-ring work was really good overall. I felt Cody and Jay was better than any match on this show. but overall, the wrestling was better this week than last week.
Oh, 100%. Like, I think that's part of why I enjoyed this show so much. Is the wrestling was really good. Like, all 4 matches was pretty good to really like TV great. So like I give them, this was one of the better wrestling Raws in a while, in my opinion. So like I thought that the wrestling on the show heavily outweighed like the stuff that went on. Like the other stuff had, when you had moments, but the wrestling to me was a highlight of this show. Like I think the wrestling was really good.
Well, we've made it to the end.
Rare for Raw.
We've made it to the end for a Rated Raw review, but y'all know the deal. Final call for Super Chat donations. Appreciate anyone who showed love and appreciate everyone in the chat joining the conversation. But of course, we also want to hear from you, hear your opinion on this week's Monday Night Raw. What was your match of the night? Your MVP, your LVP, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, out of 10, what did you give the show? And your moment of the night. We've been doing this for a while, but I remembered this week to go to our community tab, because every day we've been doing this, we've been keeping track of it and doing it for pretty much a couple of weeks now. I think it's been like 2, 3, or maybe a month now, where we've been asking you, what did you think of tonight's WWE Raw? We only have 16 votes so far on our community tab, but it looks very close. I said, what did you think of last night's WWE Raw? 38% gave it a 7 through 8. 31% gave it a 9 through 10. And 25% gave it a 5 through 6. So I think this is one of our closest ones that we've had in a while, especially for Monday Night Raw. But for me and Top Guy JJ, for the June 30th, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw, in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Out of 10, I'm giving this one a 7.5 out of 10. What did you think, JJ?
I gave this show, I actually gave this show an 8. I gave the show an 8 because of the 4 matches were good. Like the matches were good. Like we got some subtle stuff in between, and minus that that trio of garbage, like in that first hour, like the show to me was really good. Like it was if I could get a good wrestling show and then some stuff in there, then I will lean more towards that. But I really enjoyed the wrestling, so I'm going a little higher than I usually go. But I you know, you ain't getting that first time Sheamus and Rusev again. Like you're not gonna get a better tag match out of the Judgment Day and New Day again. Like that was one of their best matches. So like I'm giving credit where it's due there. So like, you know, that's where I'm at with the score. I'm at 8.
What's your match of the night?
This one I was super torn with. This one. But because I don't think I'm gonna see it again this good, I'm gonna go with Sheamus and Rusev.
Yeah, I think it was close between the first 2 matches with Sheamus and Rusev, and what I'll give it to the tag match. I'll give it to New Day versus Judgment Day. Yeah. No, it was good either way. But like, I think we can get another match like that out of them. I just don't see a repeat of this first match of these 2. Your moment of the night.
Judgment Day having all the gold. Judgment Day having all the gold. All 5 members are champions. So that's a pretty cool moment, regardless how you feel about them. I think that's a really nice sight to see.
I'm gonna give it to the Gunther, Seth, Punk, LA Knight segment.
Okay,
that's my moment of the night. And then the LVP, MVP of the show, MVP first. I'm giving it to the Judgment Day.
Damn, Judgment Day on fire! Judgment Day on fire! Winning the tag team champions, getting themselves a new member, getting themselves a fatal 4-way match at Evolution. Like, yeah. Or Evolution.
Evolution. He was right.
Yeah.
He was right the first
Okay.
time. Evolution.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Judgment Day. I'm gonna go with the Judgment Day and the entire group because even the Dom and AJ segment was funny too.
Yeah, that was LVP. Triple H.
Not even a question. Not even a question. Not even a question.
Triple K. Excuse me. Triple K.
Mention to El Grande Kaiser.
El Grande Kaiser. El Grande Germanano. That is great. That is such a great comment. Attica says LVP Triple H, bruh, cover your hood. That's wild. Great stuff, Attica. All right, we've made it to the end of another edition of Rated Raw Review. This was a fun one today. I appreciate y'all for joining us in the chat. I appreciate you, Top Guy JJ, for joining us as always. We'll give you the floor. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they might see you again.
All right, on Instagram, you can find me at TrueHill_Top Guy JJ, and on the YouTube channel. I will be back here for Rated Raw Review next Tuesday, and I will be on the flagship podcast next Saturday for True Heel Heat to preview, of course, everything that's happening, including All In, including Saturday night's main event, including Evolution, and then the Fallout. Yay. Great stuff.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Yes, that's going to be a big one for us. We're starting at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time that Saturday. I believe we're starting at 10:05 this coming Saturday, where the gang will be back. Me, True Draw Josh, and Miss Chrissy Love. Check out the flagship podcast from this past Sunday with myself and the True Draw Josh talking all about Night of Champions and all of the fallout from that show, as well as we had our serious conversation there, more in depth on Jade Cargill and where she stands in WWE right now, as well as talked about CM Punk's apology to Saudi Arabia. So check that out. Very good episode of True Hill Heat this past Sunday. Check out our Night of Champions review with myself, Romeo, and Rob Wilkins. And check out the latest True Hill Heat cut, where me, Top Guy JJ, and True Josh discuss what should headline AEW All In Texas. So check that out. That dropped yesterday. Tomorrow we'll be dropping the only episode of our Kazuchika Okada Kenny Omega rewatch series that will be available for everyone right here. We'll drop it on the channel, where me and Jimmy Macaram watched the first match from Wrestle Kingdom 11. So if you want, when it premieres, you can watch it back with us, so you can experience the vibes we've been creating over on patreon.com/Trail Heat, where this week we'll be dropping episode 4, where we watch Dominion 2018, where Jimmy Macaram said that is the first time anybody hyped up a wrestling match for me, and it actually delivered. That's how much he enjoyed Okada versus Omega 4 to get you ready for All In Texas when they face for the 5th time. And I'll be back live with Jimmy on Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, with AE Ramble reviewing this week's AEW Dynamite 300. So join us live for that as well. I want to thank you all in the chat for joining us today. Thank you so much to Top Guy JJ, and we will see you soon. This has been Rated Raw Review number 74. When you listen to Finn, you win. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SB3, signing off until next time.
Triple H hates black